welcome back to another episode of Dee's Kitchen. Today I'm going to be making some hominy corn porridge. So I've had a few requests. Comment below. Let me know what's your favourite porridge. Is it hominy corn? Is it cornmeal? Is it peanut porridge? Plantain porridge? There's a whole range of porridges, but in England, what I find is a lot of people don't even know about the different porridges. It's just more cornmeal and oats porridge. But me, I love a hominy corn. Hominy corn over cornmeal any day. Alright, so the thing with hominy corn though, it's not no quick thing. Yeah, you're gonna have to make sure that you have time if you want to cook this porridge, because trust me, it's not a quick thing. Alright, so in here I've soaked my corn from overnight, because you have to soak it from overnight. Some people pressure it, but I don't think it has that hominy corn flavour when you pressure it. So what I have done is I soaked, I think, about 2 cups, right? 2 cups of hominy corn. I soaked it from overnight. Now what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to put this into a larger pot, because what it is the hominy corn, it rises, right? So it you know, like rice, when you put the rice in the pot to cook and the rice swell. I don't really know how they say it in English. Either way, the corn swell, right? Because look, this is how they were, and this is how it is now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this into a bigger pot. So I've got 2 cups of hominy corn in here that I let soak overnight. So I'm going to throw up the water and throw a little bit more water in a bigger pot, and I'm going to let that go and cook for about, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. It does take long because you want the corn soft. You don't want the corn hard and tough. Look, this is very tough. You want it soft, yeah? Okay. Also, what you're going to need, you're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, plain flour, because you're gonna have to mix that with water to put in the porridge. You're gonna need nutmeg. You are going to need cinnamon. You're going to need mixed spice, coconut milk. You're gonna need some condensed milk as well. You're gonna need some vanilla and some salt, and I've left the flour here just in case. And you're gonna need some bay leaves and some ground cinnamon stick, but try to have no cinnamon stick. The bay leaves don't normally look like this when you get it from over here. This is from Jamaica. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put my corn on the stove to boil, and I'm gonna show you guys. All right, so I've turned the fire on to medium heat, right? Because it's just gonna boil. When you're cooking it, you can turn it down. It's just gonna boil. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the corn, and I'm gonna pour even the water, because the water is gonna have the juice, right? I'm gonna pour it all into my bigger pot, and as I said, I'm going to leave it to soak. Leave it to cook rather for another hour or so, depending on how quick it cooks. Because I've been soaking it for a few hours, it might cook quicker. But if you soak it late, if you're coming from party and soak it 2-3 o'clock in the morning, tomorrow morning it ain't gonna be, you're gonna have to cook it for long. But try, I've been soaking it for a while. Alright, so this is, you can see the amount of water that I have in there, and the cloudy colour due to the fact that it's been soaking. Alright, I'm gonna wash 2 bay leaves. So I've washed 2 bay leaves, and I'm gonna put it in there, make it go and boil in there with it. Okay, I'm also gonna put a little tiny bit of salt. And make that go on. Okay, I'm gonna cover that now and make that go on. So I'll come back in about an hour or so to let you know the progress. Right, you see that porridge don't reach nowhere yet. When you are first soaking the corn overnight, what you need to do is wash it off. It's got starch on it, so you're gonna need to wash it a few times. But don't be alarmed, even when you wash it off and the next morning it looks like this, either way it's clean, because I washed it and the water is clear, right? So when it starts cook and stir, you will start seeing it turns this way. It turns this colour either way, so don't be alarmed, right? I'm going to cover this down now and make it go on. Boil up. And as I said, it's going to be about an hour or so. I should have really woke up a little bit earlier, but you know what, it's Saturday, we don't have much to do, we're still in lockdown, so, you know? Yeah. Alright guys, so my corn has been boiling for an hour and 7 minutes, right? It's getting there. I did find some cinnamon sticks from Jamaica as well, so they're not the one that I bought from the shop, but either way, can you see how the corn swell? I'm going to put a little bit more water. It's getting there, but it still could do with another half an hour or so. So I'm going to tip a little bit more water in there, and then I'm going to leave it again, and then Alright guys, so the corn is now cooked nice and tender, right? Very, very nice and tender, the corn's cooked. Can you see? And as I said, it's swelled a little bit. So I'm going to season my pot, and then I'm going to leave it to cook for another 20 minutes or so, okay? So I'm going to put about a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, if you just watch what I'm doing. Mixed spice, again, about a teaspoon or so. I've got some nutmeg here, but it's the one that I need to grate up, so I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'm going to mix this around. I'm also going to put a cup of coconut milk, because you need the coconut milk to cook, right? So that, when you put this all in, that should take about 20 to 30 minutes to cook. So I've got a cup of coconut milk here, and I just pour that in there just like that. Nice. You can put more if you want, depending on the quantity, but for what I'm cooking, this is enough, because you still have more stuff to add, right? And then I'm going to grate the nutmeg off camera, and then you leave that to boil for another 20 to 30 minutes, and then I'll come back. Right, guys, so this is the stage where a lot of people also put in their bay leaves, their cinnamon stick, but I like to boil my corn with it in. I think it gives it much more of a nice flavor. So all my ingredients, what I had, the powdered ingredients, are now in here. Right, so you're gonna have to make this boil for another 20 to 30 minutes, okay? And then I'll come back and show you the next. Remember, I had 1 cup of the all-purpose flour, which is the plain flour. I added 1 cup of water to it, and a little bit of coconut milk. You want to mix this until the paste is very runny. You don't want it thick. You're going to use it to thicken up the porridge, but the porridge might be already pretty thick, right? So you want to mix this until the consistency is literally like water, like literally running like that, right? Mix it, because the flour in itself will thicken up your porridge anyways. And then we're going to pour this in the porridge. This is a very important step. You see, when you're pouring this in the porridge, you need to mix with one hand and pour with the other hand, because if not, your porridge is going to come lumpy. And we don't want a lumpy porridge, okay? So once I finish mixing this out, although it's done, I'm going to come back to you and show you me putting it in the pot. Okay, so my porridge has been cooking for about 30 minutes now. I want to show you the consistency of it. It's too watery for hominy corn, so you need to thicken it up with the paste that I just showed you. As I said, you need to make sure you're mixed as well as stirring, okay? So this is the consistency now. Very watery. This is how you need it, okay? So you're going to put the flour in one hand and stir in the other hand, right? So if you can see, a little bit of flour, stir. You have to continue to stir, because if not, the porridge is going to become very, very lumpy. And when I say a lumpy, I mean lumpy. Make sure your fire is on low heat as well, because the porridge becomes thick very quickly. Let me show you the consistency. You see how thick that got already? Okay. So make sure your fire is on low heat whilst doing this step, okay? Alright. And you have to continuously stir. Keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. This one will give you some, if you haven't been to the gym because of the corona, this one will definitely thick up your hand there, right? You see how the porridge looks thick, and it's hard for me to mix, so I know that it's got thicker again. So keep stirring, and then I'm going to cover that and let that go down and boil for about another half an hour or so, and then I'll come back. And then it's time to sweeten, and the porridge done. Alright guys, so it's been about half an hour. I let that flour cook in there for, and as you can see, the porridge is ready to be sweetened. When you are sweetening your porridge, you need to turn it down to as low as possible. You see, if you don't turn it down, it's going to make your porridge watery, right? The sweetener. So it depends on how sweet you like your things. Some people don't like it so sweet, some people do. I'm going to put about 3/4 of condensed milk in there to sweeten up my thing, right? That should be just enough. And then you just mix it round. Some people put sugar also, because you know you want to make your porridge to your taste. It depends on you. Some people don't even sweeten their porridge at all, but that's just not for me. I think it gives it that nice taste. So can you see it's not as thick as it once was? It's a nice consistency, right? And then I'm going to pour some sugar also. There we go. If you want to add salt at this point is when you can as well. Add some little extra salt, because you know the salt gives it up, brings up the flavour a little piece, right? So look, nice consistency. Nice consistency. Okay, I might just tip a tiny little bit of salt, literally. See then? And then I'm gonna plate up this thing, and I will come back and show y'all how it looks because it's now ready to eat. My hominy corn is served. I've sprinkled a little bit of allspice on there, but porridge ready for eat up. You can eat with some tough crackers or you can have some hardo bread. Me, I love tough crackers.